So if you hear any noise in the background, I apologize for that. I'm as isolated from the rest of my family as possible, but there may be some little kid noise in the background. Just consider it part of the ambiance and experience that we have today. Still waiting for one of the players, so it'll be just a moment here. Dead air is the worst thing for broadcasters. Alright, so let me get some stuff set up here, and we'll get going. So, here in Catalina, spawning in the 1 o'clock position, is our Zerg player who got a bye in the first round, making his 1v1 tournament debut live with you all today. It is Bixol. And spawning in the 9 o'clock position of Catalina is our green Protoss player. He is the older gamer's WraithSeer. So for those of you who, it looks like both players are scouting correctly the first time. There goes the probe over to find Bixol, and there goes the first Overlord headed to the correct spawning location of WraithSeer. So this should maybe get some fireworks early, I'd like to hope. So for those of you who weren't on stream last time we broadcasted, when we were broadcasting the round of 16 matches, the interface that you see might look a little different than what you're used to when you're watching replays of games, just if you're replaying your own games. This is the WCS Game Heart mod, for the lack of trying to look like anything official. It's what you see on WCS streams if you're watching some of the pro matches. But so just some of the features I want to point out to you. Down here at the bottom you're going to see the minerals and workers and some stuff scrolling through. On each base you'll see the Older Gamers logo behind each player's mineral line, and as units and so forth are being produced, and we'll see if we can get one here. I'll come up to Bixol's base. You can see the eggs show the little drone icon down here, so you'll see for any upgrades that are being researched or any units that are being produced, you'll be able to see these overlays on some of the buildings. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, there's nothing going on over here. Both players with early expand. Bixol went hatch first on this one, and he started a spawning pool right behind, so pretty standard play for Zerg. Protoss with a Nexus first opening before dropping the gateways, and it looks like there's actually 2 gateways in production right here in front, but Bixel's seeing the whole thing. You can see him click on both of them there with the little red dots around both buildings. So he knows there's 3 gateways now in production for WraithSeer, so this is going to be early gateway pressure for WraithSeer. Canceled one of them, so nope, and then brought it back. He was just trying to get his probe back on the other side of his wall here. So looks like some early pressure we might see from our Protoss player. Back at Bixel's base, his natural is just about to finish up. Just a little bit before what you're going to expect with the Protoss here. So very early expand for Protoss with some 3-gate pressure right behind it. So Queens in production at both bases, as you can see here, for Bixel. And the first set of Zerglings on the way. So we are off to a rip-roaring start here with 2 Zealots coming in now for WraithSeer. So 1 base mineral saturation, so nothing but minerals for WraithSeer at this point. Usually by now you'd see a gas or 2 from our Protoss player, but right now we're looking at just mineral income, which means Zealots all the time. First 2 Zealots are out, being chrono boosted. 3 more Zealots on the way for WraithSeer, so this is going to be some very early pressure. As Bixel, who saw the 3 gateways in production, drops a 3rd base very early. Usually 6 minutes is typical protocol for Zerg to drop the 3rd. He's going to see it here with his 4 Zerglings against 4. He's going to see the chrono boost over here against all the Zealots. So he backs away wisely. See what he's got 12 and 8, 20 probes right now down here. And yep, 20 to 22 workers actually for WraithSeer. So WraithSeer actually has more workers on the map. He's got 6 Zealots marching across the map. One poor little sacrificial lamb here in the for the Zerg player. So he knows what's coming, and let's see if he can get some stuff produced and on the way. 2 more queens on production after the first 2 have finished. 2 spines going down now very early for Bixol here in the natural. So it's going to take a little while for those to finish up, so we'll see if he can hold this off, this initial pressure here from WraithSeer. Back at home, WraithSeer is producing probes at this point, so it looks like this is going to be early pressure and not so much an all-in, and forcing Bixol to make a bunch of Zerglings. So Bixol's got a bunch of Zerglings coming out now, and a lot more Zerglings than I think he would have liked to have produced. Drones now down here showing the fighting. 2 drones killed, 3 down. Queens are going to work, and they're going to be able to clean this up. First spine finishes up, second spine finishes up, so these will get cleaned up, but not before WraithSeer does some damage, not only from a unit standpoint. He's actually behind an army right now, but if you look at the worker count, it's 30 to 17 WraithSeer. So I think this first push for WraithSeer was to get Bixol to overcommit to making Zerglings, knowing that Zerglings are not going to be able to push through this wall. He's very safely walled off over here, and he's gonna build workers behind this with no, I see +1 upgrades coming in now, but no other production unit-wise on the map for WraithSeer. So we'll wait for this to cycle through, but there's actually, I mean, Bixol lost, let's see, 19 units to 6 for WraithSeer. So the resources were not as bad for Bixol, but when you think about all the Zerglings that he had to make and what that means in terms of drone production, he doesn't have the drone production that you would like as a now 3 base Zerg at this point. Nope, he's going to make a spine right there. So no drones over here at the 3rd. 11 drones mining minerals at the natural, and only 11 mining minerals here at the main. So Zergling speed is about halfway done. A couple other things while we have a little bit of a dull in the action here real quick is some of the other features that you may have seen already. The workers lost count was over here. Bixol's getting an idea what's going on with his overseer, his overlord flying through, and he's going to see nothing. The warp gate technology here, see over here on the left-hand side, right-hand side, as well as the metabolic boost. Any upgrades that are in production or about to finish, you'll see it over here on the right-hand side as part of this, part of the mod that we have set up on this broadcast. Zergling speed's finished up, as well as warp gate technology. +1 weapons are about to finish up for WraithSeer at this time, and a pylon going down here in the bottom corner. I wonder if he's going to maybe proxy a Dark Shrine. Let's see what we have. Yeah, there's the Twilight Council there. 2 more gateways. Those aren't going to be able to happen because one was overlapping the other. But 1 more gateway anyway coming down. 2 more gateways. So big gateway pressure now for WraithSeer. And I have a feeling there's going to be a Dark Shrine that's going to go down over here very, very soon. Now that he's got gases, he's got 4 gases now on 2 base going down all the gateways. And lo and behold, there is your Dark Shrine right there on the way. So if we look around, we see no Overseers on the map right now. Hydra, we're going to have Roach Hydra coming out. Both the Roach Warrens on the way. First Evo chamber is almost finished up. No Spores, no Overseers at the moment. So this another pylon coming up a little bit closer to the base. So I expect to see quite a bit of DTs being warped in over here, and maybe walked in over to the 3rd, maybe a couple walked into the natural. Bixol can hold this if he can see it, so but at this point he has no vision of what's going on right now. Sees a probe coming across, but this could be big trouble for Bixol. Overlord speed's about to finish up, and of course if he goes with any Overseers that will translate, but building really nothing but drones at this point. Here comes the first Overseer. Take care of the fake unit there. Overseer's going to come in and maybe do a kamikaze approach here. He's going to see the gateways down here at the bottom of the base. Did he? Yes, he sees the gateways down here. Blink. Just a little ways through. Here come the first ETs into the natural. See where he's going to take them. He's going to give away his location there at the... Yep, and here comes the first Spore, but it's going to be too late. These Zerglings are going to go down. He's going to lose some stuff here. Evacuating all the drones here at the natural. 2 workers down now, 3. 4 workers, 5 workers, 6 workers, 7, losing quite a bit. Overseer ran away, so the Spine was doing a little bit of work on it, lost some shields, but no more. He's got protection now with the spores, but and some roaches that are about to pop, so the roaches should be able to clean this up very easily, and the rest of them that are coming in. So, lost 8 workers in that exchange, did our Zerg player, as well as his natural, and get the natural back up and running, back up and saturated. And some stalkers down here with Blink, I believe, has finished up now. Yeah, Blink has finished up and +1 for our Protoss player. So here come the stalkers in round 2. Some 1-1 upgrades about to finish up on these roaches, so that should help propel this stalker push somewhat. Bixol lost the 3rd as well. Oh, so he lost his natural and his 3rd, so there were DTs down here at the 3rd. So Bixol's in a little bit of a spot, down 20 supply right now. Roach is going to come in and try to clean this up. Blink Micro, he blinks some of those units back, kind of shows his hand a little bit. But good micro from RaithSeer, blinking the damaged stalkers back from back. Drops a 4th, does Bixol during this process, because he loses his 3rd over here. So his 4th now becomes his 3rd with heavy stalker pressure, and down about 25 supply. No sign of going to a 3rd base here, nothing but gateway units, gateway technology there for our Protoss player. See what these roaches can do to these stalkers. They're just going to blink away as they damage. RaithSeer with great control of his stalkers here in this exchange, and I don't know if Bixol's going to have enough to repel this. This could be the final straw for our Zerg player. And there's GG. Called for game 1 for our Protoss player, RaithSeer. So good games by both players. We'll make sure that everybody's ready to go before we jump into the second game of the best of 3. Let me get the lobby set up here for our second game, and we'll get going. Make sure the players are ready. And RaithSeer's requesting 1 minute, so I'm going to go ahead and scroll through some lobby screens for you here. Not going to show the updates on the scores until we actually have completed matches and have a time to step aside and update that. So these are just going to be filler screens for now, but we'll fill them in with the information as we get time. I'm going to step away for a minute myself. Alright, so it seems like both players are about ready, so we'll go ahead and jump into game 2 here very, very shortly. Thanks again for tuning in this evening. If I can just get somebody, anybody who's on stream to shoot me a message in game and let me know how the stream quality is. I know we were having issues with some dropped frames last broadcast. I've lowered my broadcast settings a little bit. I think my issue that I had was with the bandwidth on my ISP. So hopefully we won't have those issues, and we'll be in a good spot to have a good stream today. So game 2 is going to be on Overgrowth in this best of 3. I've got a little story about this map once we get started. Alright, so here we are loaded into Overgrowth. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Overgrowth. Trailing 0-1 in this best of 3. Hoping to make a comeback and force this to a game 3 is our red Zerg player, Bixol. And spawning in the upper right-hand portion of Overgrowth with a 1-0 lead in this best of 3 Protoss player is RaithSeer. So RaithSeer with some early gateway pressure in the first game, helping him roll to the first game 1 victory, in the best of 3. Both players seem to be taking a fairly standard approach here in game 1, or in game 2 rather. Nothing but drones early for Bixol. I don't see any proxy or early forge or anything like that from RaithSeer, so nothing from a cannon rush standpoint. Looks like it's going to be straightforward, at least at the start here. If RaithSeer is going to drop a pylon, try to block the expansion. Or just be annoying. I think he's just going to be annoying. He's got enough minerals, he could have dropped it by now. He's going to run off and let Bixol take his base. Nexus first again for RaithSeer. The drone saw it. So let's see what Bixol decides to do with this. Trying to block off wall producing buildings here up front. With 2 probes going to work. See if he decides to go in and try to get a scout. Nope, didn't get it. Forge goes down first for RaithSeer, as the hatch is about halfway done for Bixol. Still no spawning pool yet for Bixol. There it goes down. A little bit later, but that gives him a little more economy. So Forge and a gateway to fill in the wall at the natural for RaithSeer. As both players' second base just about finished up. I think Bixol's going to finish up a little bit sooner. It looks like Bixol's going for a very early third base before any units being produced. Cannon being produced. So I think a little bit of mind games going on here. Bixol saw RaithSeer take the early second, the Nexus first, and rather than flooding Zerglings or rushing army out to try to repel this, he's got to know that there's some buildings coming up. You think RaithSeer might think that there would be some early aggression coming forward, but Bixol opting to take a very early third base before the 4-minute mark. So we'll see how this plays out with Bixol opting for good economic play. And shout out to Kaylin, thank you for letting me know we've got good quality on the stream. Hopefully it stays that way for the night. And please reach out to me if we see anything not going well on stream. So I said I had a story about this map. So as many of you know, the new ladder season started about a week ago. Some of us haven't played very much, others have. I've got, I think, 3 ladder games in on the season, with some of the people in my division having over 50 already. So clearly some players have more time to devote to StarCraft than I do. But nonetheless, this map was actually slated to not be on the Season 1 map pool for 2015. Foxtrot Labs was actually going to be held over, and this one being removed as Stargate goes down for RaithSeer, and the Overlord's going to see it So let's see what Bixol does to respond to this. So Foxtrot Labs was supposed to be in the map pool for Season 1, and Blizzard, you got to give them credit, listening to the community, opted to remove Foxtrot Labs even though it hadn't been in the map pool as long as Overgrowth. And Overgrowth, in my opinion, is one of the best maps that has ever been for StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. So it was nice to see him listen to the community, keep a map that everybody felt was balanced, that was vetoed by next to nobody. There were some stats that were being referenced as a Phoenix is underway for RaithSeer. There were stats that were referenced about the amount of times that Foxtrot Labs was vetoed in pro games, and that combined with just player feedback, Blizzard made the correct choice, in my opinion, to keep this map Overgrowth in the map pool and remove Foxtrot Labs from the pool. So give credit to Blizzard as the Overlord goes down by the first Phoenix, and Gateway's coming in. This will be the 4th Gateway now for RaithSeer here in his base. You got to give credit to Blizzard for listening to the community and creating a game that people want to play and that people feel are fair. And I think that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is giving people the enjoyment that they get out of playing a game. So we've got spores at each base, one in front and one in back of each base. So Bixol has spent a little bit of money on aerial defense as he saw the Stargate there. Robo now going down to go along with these 3, now 4 gateways that are down for RaithSeer. So a couple of Zerglings hanging out at the 3rd for RaithSeer, checking on that 3rd base timing. As Phoenix is circled, presumably looking for Overlords. Bixol getting his first 2 bases fully saturated. Upgrades for the Hydras, so we've got Ling Hydra, which I think is a great composition for Zerg in all matchups, but especially against Protoss and Terran. So the 3rd is now going down for RaithSeer as the Army of Phoenixes come in and make a beeline for, or what I thought was going to be a beeline for the main base. He's going to cut across the map, and I believe that, yep, he's got the Zelnaga Watchtower with one of the Zerglings here, so he's seeing this happening. Bixol is. So. Hydra's now in production for Bixol, who has a 10 supply lead at the moment. So expect these Phoenixes to do a little bit of patrolling to try to find Overlords. That is, as a Zerg player, I can tell you how annoying that is, having all your Overlords sniped by Phoenixes. So 5th Phoenix joins the fray now. Robo Bay now on the way in production for RaithSeer, so he's forced out a lot of Hydras with the Air Army, and presumably we're going to see some gateway play with the Robo for Colossus from our Protoss player. The Phoenixes are going down now for the due to the Hydras here. I think the Hydras are very strong against most of the gateway compositions. So, yep, extended thermal lance being researched for RaithSeer, who has almost a 40 supply lead at this point. Lots of units in production. 42 Zerglings now in production. And most of them have popped now. So 50 Zerglings, 50 Zerglings, 13 Hydras now on the map for Bixol, who also has a worker lead of 60 to 49. Metabolic boost, Zergling speed just now finishing up for Bixol, and it is now finished. So here comes the army. Observer sees this army coming through, and we'll see if there's enough gateway unit here support to repel this. Looking for force fields. He's got sentries. They're the force fields. Here's the first Colossus. As the supply lead melts for Bixol. Down to 10 supply lead. Colossus are so strong against this army, but it does go down. Looks like he's going to clean up the rest of the gateway army here for our Protoss player. Photon Overcharge doing some work on these Hydras, one of which is going to go down by the Phoenixes. Some Stalkers coming in. as a little bit of support. Roach Warren and Infestation Pit now almost finished up, and now is finished up as RaithSeer takes a small lead rather. No, I take that back, as Bixol pumps out the Hydra army. 24 Hydras now in production. Just 1 second here. Sean, Twitch. Alright, sorry, I had a message in game for the link to my stream. For those of you who are on stream right now, thank you so much for joining us tonight, as some zealots come walking in from this pylon back here into the third base of, come on mouse, of Bixol. Queens are doing some work on these zealots as they go to work on the queens. I would like to see them take out some of the workers here. All these Hydras are going to come in and clean this up. I still don't think that he sees... Yep, nope, he doesn't see that pylon right down there as of yet, so... But a good, healthy supply of Hydras, 30 Hydras on the map. Worker count's even now at 60. Actually, RaithSeer takes a 65-62 lead on 3 base. So with the 4th base going down for Zerg, we should see some more workers being produced, and that swinging the other way. So here's the Zealots working on the 3rd right now, and it actually gets a cancel on it. So Bixol's got to know that there's something down here that is producing units. What do we have going on here? A bunch of spines in production here at the 3rd. Repel some of this, see what the queens can delay for the moment as the spines pop. First transfuse goes down on the queen, he's going to lose it to the zealots, but the zealots are going to get cleaned up pretty easily. Another transfuse goes down on a queen. These zealots are going to get cleaned up by the spines. Blink's about to finish up now for our Protoss player. Overlord Speed's about to finish up. Actually, a lot of upgrades. You can see 1-1 finishing up now for the Roach Hydra army of Bixol. Hive in production now at the main for Bixol, who is back up to a 15 supply lead over Protoss. As +2 ground weapons finish up for our Protoss player. So the Phoenix is still patrolling as the Roach Hydra army pushes into the 3rd base. Having mouse problems here this evening. As the Roach Hydra army pushes into the 3rd base here for RaithSeer, who's had a good amount of mining time on it, but we should see this get cleaned up, get worked on pretty well as the army struggles to come back. No sentries in this army to force field off, so it'll be interesting to see what this this engagement looks like. Bixol backs off with his 20 supply lead. Gonna maybe come around and try to poke at the natural this way. Nope, he's gonna retreat all the way back. Lots of spines here at the 3rd. He got spooked by those zealots the 2nd round. Good 3-base saturation as Vipers are now out. This is going to do some work to neutralize the army, the Stalker army, and also to yank some of these Colossus forward so the Roach Hydra army can do some work. So Vipers, I think they're a great unit. They're not utilized as much. I guess you see them utilized on the pro scene quite a bit. I don't see them as much on ladder in my Gold League matches too much. But they are a great unit for Zerg in this matchup. So almost a 50 supply lead right now for Bixol. I wonder if he knows how good he has it. He has no vision in the top half of the map. So, but he's in really good shape right now if he pushes his advantage. And here we come. This is going to be the engagement that may end the game. So we'll see what... Yep, here comes some Colossus being yanked. Another Colossus coming in. Another Colossus. He's going to lose all the Colossus thanks to these Vipers. All the Colossus get pulled into the army, leaving him nothing but gateway units and a lone Void Ray, which goes down. 40 supply lead now for Bixol. And I don't know that he has much army RaithSeer to repel this attack, as 2-2 now completes for our Zerg player. 80 supply lead almost, as Storm's finishing up, but I think that's going to be too little too late. This one should be GG here pretty soon. as Bixol has a 90 supply lead, 80 supply lead now. Third goes down. Still, first is completely mined out the main here, so he's got one mining base. 11 workers went down for Protoss in that exchange. So this is not, we're not in a very good spot if we're a Protoss player, RaithSeer at this point. Sees the fourth base now with no action going on, so he should be able to bring some units over here to polish this one off. As a couple of Archons, Zealots are on the map now, but this should get cleaned up in very short order as soon as Bixol sees it, and he sees a little bit of it over here. He's going to bring his army over and take out the fourth base. So RaithSeer with one mining base, the natural, and not a whole lot of army. 3-2 upgrades for the gateway units of RaithSeer to 2-2 for our Zerg player for his Roach Hydra army. But I think that this is that last engagement was the death nail for RaithSeer, and it's just a matter of time before Bixol pushes in and takes this game. He's going to break down the rocks. Overseer's providing some vision. And here we go. Storms go down. 2 Colossus go down. Archon's doing some work, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Nothing but, yep, these, the Vipers aren't in play to grab these, but he's going to take them down anyway. Some Stalkers coming in as a last-ditch effort. Roach Hydra Army's going to clean that up, and that's GG for RaithSeer. So, game 2 in this best of 3 goes to Bixol, and that'll bring us with the decider game 3 here momentarily. So the third game is going to be on King Sejong Station. Give me just a moment and I will get that loaded up here. King Sejong Station, one of the maps that was removed for this season, but still a great map. RaithSeer in the chat bemoaning the Vipers of Bixol. We're going to get all the settings set up for Game 3, make sure the players are ready to go, and then we'll jump into the third game of this fantastic Best of 3 series between RaithSeer and Bixol. Thanks again for everybody joining us on stream. I hope the quality's good according to my software. Things are good from a quality standpoint, not seeing any considerable frame drops, so we are good in the game. We are good presumably on stream. I don't know how many of you are there, but I hope it's like 350, and you're getting to see some great gold level StarCraft. So game 3 for this best of 3, the decider is going to be on King Sejong Station. And spawning in the upper left portion of King Sejong Station with a clutch win in game 2, forcing a deciding game 3 here in this best of 3, is the red Zerg player, Bixol. And spawning on the opposite end, the bottom right of King Sejong Station. Won the first game, lost the second one. Here in this decider is our green Protoss player, WraithSeer. So we saw heavy gateway pressure from RaithSeer in game 1. We saw some early Stargate play in game 2. So let's see what game 3 brings us to for RaithSeer. Bixol taking the role of the typical reactionary Zerg player. in both games. Didn't see the Dark Shrine in Game 1, and ultimately I think that's what cost him that game. Was very much on top of what RaithSeer was doing in Game 2, and helped him react properly and win Game 2. So here we are on the decider on King Sejong Station. Just a reminder for those of you joining us on stream, most of you know this, but for any of you who are not members of the Older Gamers, this is the 1v1 elimination tournament for the Older Gamers StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm clan. You can see the website there on your screen, togsc2.com. If you're 25 or over and looking for some casual older gamers to play some StarCraft with, come check us out. And if not, then enjoy the stream. So Bixol again going hatch first for the third game in a row, and I think that's pretty safe against most Protoss openers. Gateway again opening up for WraithSeer. So looks like more standard play. See if Bixol goes for that very early third base again, or if he tries something else as the spawning pool goes down right on time. Cybercore going down second for WraithSeer, so that is again pretty typical of your standard opener for Protoss. Taking a single gas. Protoss very gas heavy race early on, but I think as the game trails on a little bit, gas production is about right, and that's why you see Protoss players staying on two bases for a long time, because they can, they're okay producing what they can produce off of two bases with 4 gas geysers. So, spawning pool finishes up. First queen starts. Second queen starts for Bixol. First zealot out on the field takes care of the drone that was doing a little scouting and being annoying in the base of RaithSeer. So gateway expand for RaithSeer. Nexus goes down. Overlord's getting a good spread for Bixol here, as we've got a probe over here in the top corner of the map. Wonder if we're going to see any more proxy play, either Dark Shrine or Stargate play. See where he's going to go. Bixol again drops that early third before 5 minutes, as you can see here, with some Zerglings out on the map. So early third again for Bixol at this point. Still no gas, so no speed, no upgrades, no advanced units on the way. Just mineral production. Zerglings, drones, queens for Bixol. As we've got another gateway and a forge here on the wall, coming in for WraithSeer. Forge finishes up, cannon goes down in a wall. One Zergling being annoying right here. But there's not a whole lot that Bixol has. 2 extractors go down at about, I'll finish up right at about 6 minutes for Bixol. No drones in there yet. Another queen pops out at the main. Now he's going to start loading up the drones. About 8 workers apiece in the first 2 bases. 13 drones on the way now for Bixol. So should see Bixol's economy skyrocket here in a few seconds. As the third base finishes up. 44 supply for 31 for Bixol, but it's early. Got another gateway in the wall here for WraithSeer, so 3 gateways. And looks like we have a robo on the way for WraithSeer as well. So maybe more gateway robo. A little bit earlier, maybe, than the last game, considering that there's no Stargate on the field like we saw last game. +1 attack upgrade on the way. Warp Gate has not been started yet for WraithSeer. I wonder if he knows that or forgot about it or has something else planned for us. So we start to get drones coming out here at the third base. Decent saturation for Bixol as he loses an Overlord and gets supply blocked a little bit. 3 spores, 1 spore at each base goes down. Robo is going to start producing an Immortal. So we're not going to see drop play as Bixol might have thought, or this could be just a standard opening for him to drop spores at each base, which is safe. Roach Warren finished up for Bixol as Zergling Speed starts. Bixol still supply blocked. One Overlord on the way. I'd like to see him make a couple... Oh, there we go. Overlord just popped, so I spoke a little too soon. 9 more drones on the way, so Bixol is fast saturating his 3 bases at this point. As +1 weapons are a few seconds away from finishing up for WraithSeer. Looks like we're involved in a good old-fashioned macro game here of StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. Robo Bay gets started down here for our Protoss player. So with 1 Immortal out on the map, could possibly see some more Colossus play. He's got 2 base saturation, does our Protoss player. Alright, sorry for that little pause there, guys. Zergling Speed finished up for our Zerg player as he's producing 14 Hydras at this point. I don't know if he thought he saw something that he didn't, or if he just wants to go with Zergling Hydra army at the moment. There's a lot of Hydras on the map for not a lot of air attack, as the Zergling was cleaned up down here at the 3rd. Looks like 3rd base timing coming down for Bixol very shortly. Extended Thermal Lance being produced now for WraithSeer, so we are well on our way to a Gateway Colossus composition for WraithSeer, as Bixol gets his 3rd base almost saturated. We're at 55 drones to 44 probes as more Zerglings get produced. So I think he's looking for just a Speedling Hydra composition, which is a really good composition against Gateway Army, especially when there's only just a couple of sentries on the map for force fields. So Bixol should be okay here. About a 20 supply lead at the moment, but WraithSeer will repel this attack just fine with the 1 Colossus here, and a couple of sentries, excuse me. As upgrade's about to finish up for both players. Alright, here comes the engagement at the 3rd base for WraithSeer. Zergling's forward, trying to get a surround on some stuff, but he's guarding his Colossus very well. 96 to 91 supply now. WraithSeer about to take the supply lead, as the Colossus just does work here on this ground army for Zerg. Roach is now coming out, 25 of them for Bixol. As he reestablishes his supply lead, 123 to 87 at this point. 3rd base finished up for WraithSeer. See how quickly he can get some drones over there to start mining it. Going back to a Roach Hydra composition for Bixol. A lot of roaches on the map. I don't know if Bixol realizes what he did here, expanding his creep into the area where he would need to put down a base. I hope that doesn't come back to bite him. Here comes some Zealots walking in off of a pylon up here in the top corner into the 3rd base. We'll see what kind of work they get done on some drones here. Some Hydras about to pop at this base. Here comes the Roach army. 2 workers down, and they turn to engage the Roach army instead of being targeted on those workers. So only 2 drones lost, which is not bad for our Zerg player. About to finish 1. 1-1's about 2/3 of the way through here at Bixol's base, as he has real good 3 base saturation. Probably be looking to take a 4th here real soon. 2 more gateways coming down over here as we get Spire in production now for Bixol, and 4 Vipers on the way. So during the break, RaithSeer was bemoaning in chat about Bixol's Viper play in the last game, and so we'll see if Bixol follows through on that here, as 1-1 is seconds away from finishing up for Bixol. About a 40 supply lead now for Bixol. Worker count 65 to 58 in favor of the Zerg, so looks like a lot of that is in army supply, that 40 supply lead. But these two Colossus here are the great equalizers against any Zerg ground army. +2 weapons about to finish up for Protoss. As Blink is under production, and now a Twilight Council under, or Templar Archives, excuse me, finishing on the way here for RaithSeer. +3 weapons now being researched for RaithSeer, who now has 3 Colossus on the map. Same army composition that we saw in the last game, so... And there's the 4th base. He must have killed a couple of creep tumors that I didn't see. Observer seeing this whole thing here that's now going to get picked off by this queen because of these overseers, excuse me. So Roach Hydra Viper army, again, for RaithSeer. See what RaithSeer is going to try to do. Storm now underway, about halfway researched. As the supply lead grows to 50 now for Bixol. Bixol's maxed out now, as gateway units, stalkers come warped in now for RaithSeer. Those stalkers do have blink. Storm not quite finished yet, and there are no... I don't see any High Templars on the map, and here comes the engagement. Let's see what these Vipers are going to do. They're going to take 1, they're going to take 2 Colossus, 3 Colossus now, and the Immortal comes in. Storm seconds away from finishing up, but there are no Templars on the map to be able to activate that. Blinding Cloud now to neutralize some of these stalkers, as Bixol takes a 70 supply lead. And LOL from RaithSeer. I think he knows where this is about to finish up. 18 drones went down over here, as Zealot's doing a little bit of work. Again, a little bit of bemoaning of the Vipers, and a GG is called for RaithSeer. So that's it for this best of 3, very entertaining best of 3, that we see Bixol fall in Game 1, but come back to take Games 2 and 3